Trump has went nuclear after the shooting of the National Guard on the streets of Washington, D.C. So unfortunately, one of them, Malassie, died last night, this morning, depending on what part of the globe you're on. And Trump has came out with his biggest ever Truth Social post. Some of it unbroadcastable apparently, which makes me want to go and see what's on it. I've never been on that website, on his Truth Social stuff. I might just do that after making this clip. And he's went nuclear, and he's came out and said that he will Trump previously said Wednesday's shooting in Washington DC underlined a major national security threat and promised to take steps to remove any foreigner from any country who does not belong here. So, you've got the bands of ICE agents bouncing about, rounding people up, rightly, wrongly, sometimes sometimes wrongly because the wrong information or whatever, but that's an argument for the Yankee Doodle Dandies to have. And you've got the kind of source of this whole scenario in the sense that Donald Trump brought the National Guard out on the street. And I think it was 2 National Guards that got shot, I'm pretty sure. And they otherwise wouldn't be there to be shot. Not that I'm blaming Trump for that guy shooting them, you know, it's that fuck, it's on that guy's back. By the way, who was employed by the CIA? MK Ultra. But aye, look what's happening in America, man. They're able to round anybody up who they think might be a foreigner and then go good guy, wank, and kick them out. It's some very authoritative shit. You can say right or wrong, so I don't know. Anyway, so he's already banned countries including Afghanistan, Cuba and Iran. What's the difference between public and private news organisations? Now, you'll find public news organisations dotted all over the world, funded by different means and mechanisms. Very few countries have the exact same funding model for their state media. I'm in the UK, so I'm a wee bit more aware of our model here in the UK, and I would argue it's one of the best models out there. And I would also argue there is a place for state TV. Now, don't get me wrong. Corporate media will convince you that the BBC is the devil incarnate, you know, and everybody just listens to the filth, like all the worst stories that you could get for the BBC. Now, I was having a quick look there. The BBC employ 23,000 people. This is public companies. There's the BBC Media, established 1927, nearly 100 years, 23,000. Now, I'm going to check if that's in the UK or worldwide. Aye, that's worldwide. Some sources are saying 21, some are saying 22. 60 countries and 40 languages, 23,000 people. So there's a lot of people employed. Any employer that big are going to get some real wrongings in it, and then stick into the mix the BBC has lots of different branches. You know, the BBC News is different from the BBC Entertainment and BBC Abroad, and then you get BBC Arabic and all sorts of different weird branches that exist and stuff, you know. It's a massive, massive organisation. So, if you look around the world, there's no way that state TV is going away. It's all about the funding model. Even Nigel Farage is sitting up there and say it should be broke down, made less powerful, because he's happy with his corporate masters wanting more power in the corporate press. Now, what's the difference between a state-run news organisation and a corporate-run news organisation? Well, a corporate-run news organisation is at the beholdment of its sponsorship, its shareholders, aka, and its owners, shareholders and owners, same sort of a thing. Not a royal charter, it won't get discussed. What they're not held as accountable, and like the House of Parliament, even the House of Lords, the Houses of Parliament. Whereas corporate media have more of a carte blanche to, I don't know, have organisations such as, let me name the ways, The Sun, the News of the World before it came too toxic and shut down, The Times Radio, Talk Sport, Fox News. They used to have Sky, but they've sold that now. And all their gremlins in and around all the social medias and stuff. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just the ones I know off the top of my head. I can stick a quick Google in and see what companies they do own. Here's a wee list. Just to the top of the Google searches, man. And there's a few here that I forgot, man. Like the Wall Street Journal. Rupert Murdoch owns the Wall Street Journal, whose journalist got jailed. Of course, this was the Russians getting everything wrong, and the guy was innocent and all that. He was just an innocent journalist. But the Russians jailed him because he got caught red-handed gathering information about the biggest tank manufacturing factory in the world, which is in... Was it in Moscow? It's definitely in Russia. I'm pretty sure it was Moscow. And he get caught gathering intelligence about it. He either get kicked out. I don't know if he get jailed, but I don't know. But obviously all the Western press is saying he was innocently jailed and he was just a journalist and all that. So he was in intelligence. And he worked for Rupert Murdoch's Wall Street Journal. Oh, the New York Post, he owns that as well. The Times, I said that. The Sun. HarperCollins, that's a book publisher. So he doesn't burn books, he just controls what ones get printed, you know. News UK, that's all encompassing. All the news organisations he's got down in Australia as well, his homeland. Even though his name's Rupert Murdoch. News Corp Australia. I might be speaking out of turn here, but I'm sure that Sky News Australia is still under his bracket. He sold the British one to Comcast because he was branching out into like Talk TV at the time, which failed on the television because it was going to get shut down, or it was getting fined all the time because it isn't journalism, it isn't news. He owns Fox Broadcasting Company, Fox Business, Fox Sports. Does he still own Sky Sports? Dive deeper in AI mode. Let's see what Rupert Murdoch's News Corp, The Sun, the Australian Tubi Media Group operate the streaming service Tubi. Never heard of it. Fox Television. It just gets so many fingers and so many pies, man. But that's his wee media organisation, bought and paid for by his billions of pounds, and all these multi-billionaire pals who want lower corporation. Because remember, see to them and the scale that their businesses are operating, a cut of like 0.05% of a corporation tax seems fuck all to the layman on the street. Like, fucking, that's nothing. To them, that's billions of pounds saved by just fucking bribing one politician. By propagandising the poor to turn against the poor and fucking, and want the political party in that's going to deliver less corporation tax for Rupert Murdoch, that like Rupert Murdoch and his fucking billionaire fucking boys clubs. And people fucking fall for the fucking tagline, they're saving the fucking planet. The BBC, man, Jimmy Savile, Rolls Harris, did you see the attitude shit about Trump? Did you see what the Rupert Murdoch scumbag News of the World done to the whole of the UK? Do you think it was only in the UK he was doing this? That his news organisation outlets would be doing this in Australia and America where they're operating as well? God knows what information they had on every cunt. Politicians, royalty, everybody. Pop stars, dead, mothers and fathers of dead children. Some real scumbag shite that them at Fleet Street and all the other fucking news organisations around the world would go and have a wee pint after ruining people's fucking lives for a fucking, back in the days, maybe still to this day, hits and clicks as it would be called nowadays. More eyes on the prize, more eyes on their shite. Anyway, but now everybody has been just hypnotised with the internet. You will hate the BBC. You will love Farage. You will want to close down the BBC. Defund the BBC, cause your corporate masters are paying people to get inside your nut to do so, because they don't like how powerful the BBC is. Because they're corporate whores. And the BBC isn't beholden to advertisers. They're shareholders. No, can't. They're beholden to the politicians and the public. And fucking, like, is it perfect? Is it done shit wrong and all that, man? But everybody, there's people that the BBC could bounce on, and the BBC News could bounce on and go, yeah, there's a reporter saying the news, the sky is blue. And there's people so hypnotised by the fucking social medias and the internets, and they'll turn around, oh no, that's the BBC. So closed-minded, they can't actually judge information on the information. They judge it on who fucking whispers in their ear. Oh no, I can't believe him. I do that myself. There's just some people I won't listen to, man. Fucking Russell Brand. Although he was talking about cocaine coming at Zelensky's nose the other day, man, and somebody sent me the clip. But I managed to just like fast forward it to the bit of the cocaine coming out the nose, man. That guy fucking, it's like nails down a chalkboard. Watching that guy, man. It's like watching a menopausal woman. Like, you just want to wrap them up and fucking and put them in a straitjacket, man. Like that. Yeah, I'll come back in a couple of years. Anyway, I digress, man. So I go beat up the BBC because the corporate press is telling you to. If you watch the BBC, you're going to burn in hell with Jimmy Savile, because talking heads on fucking internets have told me so. All these ex-BBC employees that have been sacked for either being shite or no up to the job and all that, now coming out and going, working for corporate media, telling you how bad the corporation, how bad the BBC is. If you employ 23,000 people worldwide, man, you're going to employ some fucking, God knows what percentage of wrong ones. Right, who says I don't do science? Right, so a quick Google search. Estimates suggest that between 1 and 5% of the adult male population has paedophilia, a sexual, with a much lower prevalence in women. Right, so you employ 23,000 people, man. you're going to get between 1% and 5%, according to Google figures, and we all know Google tells you the truth, are going to be pedos. So that 1 and 5%, Jimmy Savile, Rolf Harris, and their little fucking cabal. And then I love the Jill Dando conspiracy, you know. Because people just write off everybody in the BBCs like paedophiles and wrong'uns because they work for the BBC. You're like, not every, it's not a prerequisite on the fucking application form that, do you like to fuck little children? Oh aye, I'm fucking all in, man, aye. Fucking sign me up, man, I'm gonna be BBC for life. What's the difference between public and private news organisations? Well, the private news organisations are as corrupt. Public news organisations are a little less corrupt. The shit that they're shelling you, the shit that they're trying to sell you, and the messages they're trying to get in your nut aren't coming from advertisers, billionaire shareholders, and all that shit. It's coming from the intelligence services, people in the organisation with crackpot ideologies, want to get their message out, you know, using their position of power, rather than being behest to your sponsorships, to your fucking shareholders, etc., etc. I could rant on this for fucking ages, man, but it's just an alternative way of looking at things. Get it, got it, good, catchies, no cats, no cheese. Maybe only some BBC haters were harmed in this filming. You know, it's no hard being unpopular. You know, people will be having a fit and getting triggered about somebody saying that, oh, I don't think the BBC are like devils full of demons from the head. For everybody working in the BBC are demons. And it's funny, man, the heat is getting turned up on the BBC just after them getting kicked out of Gaza, getting told that they're like anti-Semitic because the report on the genocide that's happening in Gaza. Christ, they reported on 2 innocent people getting sent back, two innocent Palestinians in the West Bank getting sent back into a house factory or something, a garage, and shot cold blood this morning. So why would people want to bring down the BBC from within? Huh? Have we seen this before? Is there groups out there who don't like people reporting on what's happening in that area of the world? I don't know. Well, there is one group. That would be the group that's kicked out fucking... reporters aren't allowed... They're not allowed in. Freedom! Get it, got it, good, catchies, no cats, no cheese. Maybe only some people who don't like the BBCs were harmed in this filming.